Anam Peace be still. Peace be still. Peace be still. Peace be still. Still be peace. Still be peace. Still be peace. Still be peace. Be here now. Be here now. Be here now. Be here now. Now here be. Now here be. Now here be. Now here be. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Light I am. Light I am. Light I am. Light I am. I am love. I am love. I am love. I am love. Love am I. Love am I. Love am I. Love am I. Peace be still. Peace be still. Peace be still. Peace be still. Still be peace. Still be peace. Still be peace. Still be peace. Anam kara. Anam kara. Anam kara. Anam kara. Anam kara. Anam kara. One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, yet we see it everywhere in everything. There's one power indescribable, yet we speak of it in every word we say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem, or Heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. Oh, it's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power.
Wherever you may be right now, let's take a breath together. Let's settle in. On this last Sunday of January, in this first month of our new year, I continue to be reminded of the gifts available to each of us with new beginnings. And so with that, see if these words of gratitude, these words of prayer resonate with you. See if these words can be yours. For all that I have lived until now, for all that I have experienced, I say thank you. For all the joys and all the regrets, from the mishaps to the mayhem, from the painful to the poignant, I say thank you. For in all my life, I have received and opened the gifts of new awareness, deeper insights, and timely learning. My life has been a beautiful process of unfolding and becoming who I am today, even in its challenging moments. Every aspect of my life to this point has prepared me for this now moment, this place of new beginning, where fresh perspectives invite me in, where meaningful opportunities draw me forward. Today, I release obstacles that block my awareness to love's presence. Today, I swing doors wide open to life, wide open to love, wide open to possibilities calling. And so it is.
It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunlight on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of the baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon, for it's love that's most deep. It's one power. It's one power. It's the power of the love that lives in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power. It's one power, one power, one power. What if a prayer is not a plea, a desperate call with tears that fall on bended knee, but breathing out and breathing in, it's God in me that lives and breathes, my trusted friend. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound of angels playing. My life is a prayer that God is praying. What if today I had the chance to move and sway? God leads the way in my life's dance. What if I knew without a doubt, no need to fear, God's right here, within, without. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound of angels playing. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound of angels playing. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My life is a prayer that God is praying.
Good morning and welcome to Unity in Lynnwood. Wherever you may be or however you may be tuning in, we want you to know how glad we are that you are joining us today. My name is Ken Urey, a longtime member of this community, and it is my privilege to express to you our heartfelt welcome to this service, this celebration, this time of remembering. Whatever has led you to this moment, we are here for you today. You may be looking for some needed inspiration, a new idea for a new perspective. You may be joining us to feel a sense of community, of personal connection, of friendship. You may be joining us here today to experience some overdue inner healing, to gain a greater sense of peace or hope, to be reminded of your goodness, to know that you are deeply loved. Or you may have arrived because this is simply what you do. This is part of your practice that helps you feel connected and grounded in a truth that is yours. Our hope is that no matter what brings you here today, you will receive a gift for your soul exactly and especially designed for you. And if not, you're certainly welcome to come back next week. What we are sure of is that you are a gift to this community, whether you're a longtime member or tuning in for the first time, whether you're near or whether you're far. We see you as a wonderful and valuable expression of creation itself, and we are here to champion you on your unique journey. Welcome. And good morning, Dr. Richard.
Good morning, Ken, Yuri. Everything he said. Everything he said. Ken, Yuri, thank you. Musicians, thank you. Crew, thank you. Always, it is the privilege of an incarnation, as I like to say, to serve as the spiritual director of this evolving, unfolding idea of oneness and possibility, which we call Unity in Lynnwood. My name is Dr. Richard Loren Held. That mission statement, so short in word, so expansive in thought. It reads as follows: practical spirituality and welcoming community. And so it is that every week I like to support this short yet broad mission statement with one of the supporting statements which we developed in conversation with your board of trustees beginning in late 2014. Where does the time go? Today I offer the first of those 6 statements. It reads as follows: we offer a metaphysical teaching which encourages regular spiritual practice, including prayer, meditation, affirmation, denial, service, and study. I should say including, but not limited to. If you'd like to pray with someone following the conclusion of this time together, start the process by writing prayer at unityinlynnwood.org. Include a working telephone number and expect a call from one of our trained prayer chaplains. Callie is your social media host today. I encourage you to open your social media chat window, whether on a telephone or on a laptop or on a desktop. Allow us to say good morning to you in this way. Following the lesson and meditation, we will open the floor, as we've done so many times before, to any comments, to any questions, to any greetings you might want to issue to each other. Simply type your question, your comment, or your greeting in the social media chat box window. Callie will assure that we receive it here in the physical sanctuary. Reverend Nina Clark and I would be happy to dance that dance of community with you. Words of invocation. You're welcome to read them silently or aloud, wherever you are. They read thusly: though imaged and named variously, there is a singular and eternal ground of being from which all life emanates and into which all life retreats. We choose to call this ground of being God. By extension, we come to understand that we are spiritual in nature, human in expression, and limitless in potential. We gather today to remember such truths, to celebrate our unity, and to honor all life. And so it is. I don't remember the source, but there was one who likened matters of higher knowing, shall we call it, to the eruption of a volcano. that when we have a spiritual awakening, an elevated outlook, a transcendental awareness, that the experience is made of fire. And if you've ever had such an experience, and I hope you have, I think it's a great description. When we have a spiritual awakening, when we have an elevated awareness, a transcendental experience, it's made of fire. But what happens is that as the fire rolls down the mountain, I might say that as we begin to describe the experience and to record the experience and to preserve the experience for those who have filters and biases and tribal tendencies of their own, as the fire rolls down the mountain, the spiritual awakening tends to cool into dogma and doctrine. And as the fire rolls down the mountain, that elevated outlook tends to crust into exclusivity and elitism. And as the fire rolls down the mountain, the transcendental experience, it tends to harden into positionality and partisanship. In other words, by the time the fire reaches the bottom of the mountain, it tends to be little more than a smoldering fossil of the original experience. This is one of my descriptions of organized religion. What started as fire in the hearts and minds of our planet's greatest seers and gurus, avatars, teachers, healers, interpreters, tends to become nothing more than a smoldering fossil of the original experience. This is why you hear me say as often as I do that the religion of Jesus and the religion about Jesus, they have long since parted ways. All too often, the religion about Jesus is little more than a smoldering fossil of that original experience of fiery inclusivity, nonviolence, forgiveness, compassion, transformation, love, life. And maybe this is the gift brought to the world by the mystics of every tradition. I might say that the mystics, in a sense, are those who clamber to the top of that cosmic mountain, that they might have their own spiritual awakening, their own elevated outlook, their own transcendental experience. And I might suggest that this is exactly what every enlightened soul has tried to get each of us to do. All words captured, all teachings written, all practices shared, all rituals offered, all poems uttered, all prayers are ultimately pointers, encouraging each of us to clamber to the top of that cosmic mountain where we might come to know a God of fire again. A God existing above the confines of dogma and doctrine. A God existing above the commonalities of exclusivity and elitism. A God existing above the comforts of positionality and partisanship. Said another way, while the world of organized religion is teeming with people eager for leaders to hand them tidy boxes containing easy answers, and while the world of organized religion is teeming with leaders eager to answer that call, well, I say welcome to unity. Welcome to unity, where we extend ourselves not as authorities or intermediaries, but as still more pointers, encouraging you to clamber to the top of that mountain to discover the God of your being. We extend ourselves not so much as holy interceders as human encouragers. not so much as holy arbitrators, but human instigators. Not so much as holy mediators as human motivators. In plain language, we don't say our church is where you find God. We say that where you find God is your church. So every week, I try to find creative ways to tell you, to suggest that God is the unified reality behind all. And that's unity's first principle or tenet, by the way. And that you, then, are an emanation of that unified reality, of all that God has been intuited to be, or unity's second principle or tenet. There are two schools of thought, really. The first being that God produces as a human might produce a widget. And the second being that God emanates as a tree might emanate an apple. And of course, we in Unity tend toward the second school of thought. Humans and all other expressions are emanations of God. And while this idea of having to earn one's way back to God, while this is a common enough superstition, I would suggest it as somewhat arrogant to consider anything or anyone capable of standing outside of the allness we call God. I might also go so far as to suggest it as cruel. It's common, but it's cruel. This is what it means to be of the image and likeness. You are an emanation of all that God has been intuited to be. Now, in either case, I think every tradition has said something like this. Certainly the ancient Hebrews did, and the early Christians after them. Every tradition has said something like this. We come from an infinite singular potentiality. We will return to an infinite singular potentiality. In the meantime, we delight in an illusion of separate, finite limitation. You see, it's not so much that we enter into an altered state of consciousness in finding God, as it is that we enter into an altered state of consciousness in becoming human. We enter into an altered state of consciousness when we put on these suits of skin and explore the illusions of separation and limitation. But here's the deal. Even in the midst of that exploration, there's something in us that remembers the higher truth of that infinite singular potentiality from which we emanate. There's something in us that remembers God. And those who remember most clearly become our avatars, our gurus, our Buddhas, our Christs. So it's a most ironic, richly ironic thing I do for a living. I find creative ways to tell you that God is the unified reality behind all, that you then are an emanation of that unified reality of all that God has been intuited to be, and that your primary work is to remember this and to integrate this into your human journey, or Unity's third principle or tenet. You are an emanation of God. And your primary work is to remember this and to integrate this into your human journey. It was Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore who said it something like this. I won't get the words exactly right, but she said, "You are here to discover your divine essence and then to express that divine essence in our world." How's that for a job description? You are here to discover your divine essence and then to express that divine essence in our world. So in a sense, I find creative ways to tell you that God isn't found so much in holy buildings, but in holy moments. Not so much in holy days as in holy choices. And then I invite you back so I can tell you the same thing again next week. I find creative ways to tell you that you don't need me, and then I invite you back so I can tell you the same thing next week. So maybe it can be said, welcome to Unity, a diverse community of individuals, myself included, seeking to remember together in a culture of love that might be described as radical acceptance and intentional welcome. How do you like that? Welcome to Unity, where we encourage you to embrace your mystical self, to climb that cosmic mountain that you might be touched by the fire of higher knowing. Which brings us to Unity's fourth tenet. Now, I imagine I might speak for any number of people in tipping my hat to Connie Fillmore in her ability to condense this tenet into a concise and yet expansive sentence. It's some 14 words which in effect encourage us away from living lives of manipulating at the level of effect and toward living lives deeply rooted at the level of cause. A mere 14 words mirrored in Michael Beckwith's model of spiritual evolution, in which a perception of life as occurring to me or by me becomes a perception of life as occurring through me, even as me. And I quote, "There is power in affirmative prayer, which we believe increases our awareness of God." Unity's fourth principle or tenet. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore said it in different words. We don't have to pray or beg for God to give us anything. All we need to do is to meditate quietly and affirm the presence and power of the great giver of all, and then accept the gifts. It was Dr. Emily Cady who said it this way: we do not have to beseech God any more than we have to beseech the sun to shine. The sun shines because it is a law of its being to shine, and it can't help it. Eric Butterworth, startling as it may sound, it really doesn't make any difference to God whether or not we pray, but it makes a lot of difference to us. Prayer, he says, is not a matter of conquering God's reluctance, but of attuning ourselves to God's eternal willingness. So here we are. If God is the essence of you, same thing said in a different way, if God is the essence of you, and if there's nothing you can do about that, and if your job is to come into a remembering and an acceptance of just what this might mean, and to live a life from that remembering, then Unity's fourth tenet might say that spiritual practice is one good way to do just that. We at Unity in Lynnwood might say to meditate, to listen to music that makes your soul soar, to spend time with nature in her immense beauty and undeniable wisdom, to serve others. And talk about a spiritual practice that can alter your world, to serve others, to practice divine curiosity. God, I might say, isn't offended by your challenges, by your questions. Study the teachings of our planet's truly enlightened teachers. And how do you know which of our planet's teachers are truly enlightened? Well, ultimately, I would say their teachings will seek to lift us up as individuals and to bring us together as peoples. Dogma and doctrine, exclusion and elitism, positionality and partisanship are not the hallmarks of enlightenment, as difficult as that might be to consider for the first time. There might be comfort in there, but there is no fire. In another sense, Unity's fourth tenet might suggest that you have immense capacities at your disposal, and that all that's required of you is to spend a little time practicing. I used to think that change was a product of willpower, and I imagine in some settings that might be true. But this I can promise you, you can, through the spiritual practices of your choosing, experience such an instantaneous change, or at least it seems to be instantaneous when it really happens. You can experience such an instantaneous change that your world immediately becomes new. Such a profound shift that your world immediately becomes new, and you can never go back to the world you knew before. And when I say I can promise you this, it's because I've had the experience of a singular moment in which I got something. I'm not going to tell you what the thing was today, but I saw something in an entirely new way. And in that moment, I became an entirely new person. My entire existence changed course. Easily, gracefully, there was no more willpower. Unity's fourth principle, or Unity's fourth tenet, might suggest that you have immense capacities at your disposal, and that all that's required of you is to spend a little time practicing. In my words, you can, through the spiritual practices of your choosing, you can experience change. And your world can become new. That's Unity's fourth tenet. Take a deep breath. If you're comfortable doing so, close those outer eyes. Reverend Nina Clark will facilitate a time of meditation, a time of spiritual practice for all of us.
Let's begin by taking a deep, slow breath, allowing that breath to gather us to this moment. And another deep breath, allowing yourself to be even more fully present. And then exhaling slowly and with intention. As you breathe, gently allow your in-breath to connect to your out-breath so that there is no pause in your breathing. Let your breathing be gentle and easy, in and out, in and out. And if they are not closed already, allow your outer eyes to close. And as they do, allow your inner eyes to open. Look around you. In front of you is sky, blue, blue sky with clouds floating past on a gentle breeze. Far, far below, you see a green valley with a blue river winding through it. To your left and right are the jagged peaks of mountains. And as you realize that, you come to know that you are standing on a mountaintop. Yes, this is that cosmic mountain where you've been invited to be touched by the fire of a higher knowing.
When I forget, will you remember for me? When I forget, will you remember for me? Help me see what you can see. When I forget.
And as you stand on this cosmic mountaintop from this elevated perspective, remember with me that there is just one God, just one power, just one presence everywhere present. Remember with me that there is just one infinite ocean of consciousness. This perfect reality is everything that is and everything that is not. It is the one loving presence in which all life has its being. It is the one, the only, whole and complete. There is nothing else. It is the one and only good and the boundless joy. It is the limitless peace and the infinite power without breadth or width or depth, so that we cannot draw a line and say, here God ends. For there is no end to God and no beginning. It is everything from the far reaches of the universe to the butterfly at your feet.
When you forget, I will remember for you. When you forget, I will remember for you. I will see what you can't see. When you forget.
Infinite and eternal in nature, you are of it simply because you cannot be outside of the only thing that is. This all-knowing consciousness cannot be everything without you. And so you are one with this one life and all that it is you are. Its life is your life. It is the spark and substance of every part of you. Its divine order permeates your every cell. The good that it is, you are. Plunge into yourself and you will find yourself submerged in the endless deep ocean of God's love. Sway in the ecstasy of God's joy and know this joy as your joy. Breathe in the peace of God and sigh with deep contentment, knowing that peace as your own. Bask in the abundance that is God, knowing that this source of who you are is inexhaustible. You can draw and draw and draw from this well, and you will always come up full. This is the nature of God and the nature of your being. Allow this truth to permeate every fiber of your being. Allow this truth to soak deeply into the marrow of your bones. Let the remembering of this truth start a fire in your belly, start a fire in your heart. And let the fire of this truth consume any lie to the contrary. You are an emanation of God because you cannot not be.
When you forget, I will remember for you. When you forget, I will remember for you. I will see what you can't see. When you forget.
So knowing that all that God is, you are, let us wake up to the deep knowing of the oneness of all life. There is only one power, and you are a living reflection of that knowing. Surrender all of your petty fears to God, relinquishing any and all thoughts, conscious or unconscious, that have led you to give power to anything other than God. They are no longer needed. They are from yesterday and yesteryear, and you can let them go. Today is a new day. The light is here in you, and it is shining more brightly as you with each passing moment. You are on fire with the light of all God's creation. And as this truth lights you up, your true nature is revealed as generous and compassionate, grateful and nurturing, joyful and loving, strong in character and lavish in forgiveness.
When I forget, will you remember for me? When I forget, will you remember for me? Help me see what you can see. When I forget.
And as the fire of this knowing sinks deep into the core of your being, notice that gratitude arises naturally within you from a full heart. Carry the fire of this truth in your heart down from the mountaintop and let it continue to illuminate you in every detail of your everyday life. And in doing so, it is so. And so it is.
When I forget, when I forget, when I forget,
We initiated this segment during these unusual times in our deep, unwavering commitment to facilitating community in any and every way possible. So if you have a comment, if you have a question, if you have a greeting one for another that you would like to present, you simply drop that text into your social media chat window. Your social media host, Callee, will assure that it reaches us in our physical sanctuary, and we will do our best to address it. Please say hi to each other. I have to tell you, if I were to name the names of people I miss sharing this space with, I could be here for quite some time myself. I see we have something arriving from the virtual world. It is in a font that is perhaps the size, well, let's say I think it's a font. It may or may not be a font. Perhaps that is a series of Greek doodles. I'm not sure. I want to express my gratitude. Thank you for letting me be silly. I want to express my gratitude for everyone involved in keeping us connected in uncertain times. You are indeed expressing God. I want to thank you all. Wow. What generous words. Thank you. That is from Jerry Brocker, and if I'm not mistaken, Jerry Brocker writes that from the parking lot. Jerry Brocker, we love you as well. Are there any other comments, greetings, gratitudes that you would share with us today? All right. I will trust that to be complete then.
There's another one.
Oh, here comes another one. Okay. Reverend Nina, this will be yours. I already intuit that this is for you. What an amazing meditation. See, I told you. I told you. That's for Reverend Nina Clark. What an amazing meditation. Thank you all. That is from Christine. Christine, thank you. We're so grateful you are with us. And I see another tiny font. It's the same one. All right. Dear community, thank you. Thank you for walking through a new experience with us.
Thank you, Dr. Richard, and thank you, Reverend Nina, and thank you, Matthew. I know that I speak on behalf of the overflowing hearts of our community and unity in Lynnwood, that we are so very grateful for your wisdom and for your guidance and for your artistry. It keeps us buoyed up even in challenging times, and we're so grateful for you. And for you, our UIL community, we are so grateful for each and every one of you, for all the gifts that you bring to our community, those gifts of your very presence, of your service, and of your financial contributions as well. We know that when we receive these gifts, we not only receive the gifts themselves, but we see you and we see your intention and your generous heart behind each of the gifts that you give to this beautiful community. If you'd like to give a financial contribution today, you'll see on your screen a variety of ways that you can do that. You can text to give, you can click to give, or you can do it the old-fashioned way and slip your gift into an envelope with a stamp and mail it in our direction. And you can be assured that every gift received is welcomed and accepted with our heartfelt gratitude for you, the giver.
Ang sang Waheguru, ang sang Waheguru, ang sang Waheguru, ang sang Waheguru. The one mind, it is my mind. The one heart, it is my heart. The one life, it is my life. Ang sang Waheguru.
We have several invitations regarding happenings here at Unity in Lynnwood that we would love to have you consider and see if any of these are yours. And of course, to register for all events, either visit our website or click the link that's provided, and we cannot accommodate drop-ins, so be sure to register. Small group ministry includes a variety of offerings, including UIL Connects, which happens on the second and fourth Thursdays at 7 p.m. This is a virtual gathering. Students of Myrtle Study Group meets on last Sundays at 12:30 p.m., and this is also virtual. And the Search for God Study Group meets on Mondays at 7 p.m., virtual only. Interlude, a midweek service with Reverend Nina Clark, meets on Wednesdays at 7 p.m., virtually at this time, and of course we would love to see you there for this midweek refresher. A workshop coming our way, Living and Loving Your Way Through Grief, happening on February 5th at 11 to 1 p.m. In this workshop, we'll examine grief as a normal, expected event during the human experience, and how grief is individualized and how it expresses itself, and the process for moving through it and allowing healing to occur. Amid this changing world, we are experiencing multiple complex grief events and must prioritize our focus on moving through the trauma and subsequent grieving process. There will be plenty of time for sharing and questions and responses. The Power of Positive Thinking book discussion group starts on Sunday, February 20th at 3 p.m. The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale suggests spiritual techniques which demonstrate that you do not need to be defeated by anything, that you can have peace of mind, improved health, and a never-ceasing flow of energy. Many examples of Peale's successes are given, an amazing method of successful living. We will use his techniques and discuss our results in this workshop.
Thank you, Ken Yuri. Thank you again. What a joy. That book study will be facilitated by Mandy Arwen. The grief workshop is facilitated by Reverend Rich Carlini. Barbara Thorpe, your Director of Prayer Ministries, and I were privileged to experience the highlights of his workshop. It is available for all, whether you attend this center or not, and it's a powerful and relevant presentation. It extends far beyond any basic model in which grief is associated only with physical death. Take a deep breath with me. Close the outer eyes yet again. Let us close as we open with that spiritual technology, with that universal practice we call prayer, that time of elevation, that time of high-mindedness. So we begin with the bold claim that the God of our understanding, and you get to have your own, the God of our understanding is at hand. The God of our understanding is just as present as ever. And so for me, I derive the transcendent peace of realizing and accepting that wisdom awaits my acknowledgement, that sufficiency has already been granted, that harmony longs to express and to prove itself through my hands today, through my heart, and that life is the very reality of my being, that life is the reality of your being, that as we move through this altered consciousness of separation and limitation, it is life in which we are united. So for me, in this realization, gratitude becomes my response. I give thanks today. I give thanks today. I give thanks today. And I carry this gratitude into the remainder of my day. Let us close our time together as we always do, with sung words of blessing, with sung words of farewell.
May the long time sun shine upon you.